Remembered by many as the wealthiest Indian in the city, who contributed endlessly to the community. Liz Yoon reports.
Harry Leila's family and acquaintances said their final goodbyes to the philanthropist at his family home in Kowloon Tong. Among them, Chief Executive Leung Chun-ying. Leung earlier expressed his condolences to the family through a statement. He called Harry Leila a successful entrepreneur who is highly respected for his achievements in the hotel and real estate industries in Hong Kong. Former Chief Secretary for Administration Anson Chan also had some kind words for Harry Leila.
Always looked up to him as a great role model, not only in business, in his entrepreneurial spirit, but what I particularly admired Harry was his generosity of spirit, his generosity towards other people, and his emphasis on family life and the way he held such a big family together.
This businessman called Harry Leila a great leader in both the Indian and Chinese communities.
Oh, he was a too good a person, very polite, soft-spoken, really great personality. We Indian community have lost a great person for us. It's very sad for us.
Members of the public are also welcomed to pay tribute to the philanthropist tomorrow afternoon at his residence. Dr. Harry Leila will be sent to the Cape Collinson crematorium for cremation on Thursday. The prominent hotelier arrived in the South China city of Canton in 1930 from a place that was part of India but now part of Pakistan. In 1959, Harry Leila and his brothers started the Harry Leila Group, which engaged in the textile trade but later expanded into real estate and hotel business. In 2009, Harry Leila was awarded the Grand Bauhinia Medal for his achievements and involvement in charity work. Liz Yun, TVB News.
The chief executive is expected to submit a public sentiment report to the central government next month. Today, pan-democratic lawmakers published their own public opinion report, which they plan to send to Beijing officials.
In anticipation of the CY Leung administration's public opinion report anticipated for early January, which we expect must be to some extent biased, untrue, and dishonest. The 23 pan-democratic legislators publish our own public opinion reports today. We want to accurately reflect and to describe the public sentiments and opinions.
What we are also trying to tell them in the report is that if they would not budge an inch and try to force something very unpalatable down the throat of LegCo and Hong Kong, many people would respond very negatively. And as I said, there could be very dire consequences.
The lawmakers say that if no changes are made to the government's reform package, they will veto it. The report will be sent to the CE's office and copies will also be sent to the relevant authorities in Beijing.
In Taiwan, former President Chen Shui-bian could soon be released from prison on medical parole. Chen has served 6 years of a 20-year prison sentence on charges of corruption. A campaign for his medical parole began more than a year ago. His health is reportedly deteriorating sharply, with problems including hints of Parkinson's disease, serious sleep apnea and incontinence. A review committee recommended yesterday that he should go home to receive proper medical care. Taiwan's Ministry of Justice said today that because the prison had not received the medical report, he wouldn't be released today. But it didn't rule out the possibility that he would be released after the report is received.
A former Korean executive who didn't like the way she was served macadamia nuts on a flight was in court today for review of her detention warrant. Earlier this month, Heather Cho, the daughter of the airline's chairman, forced a plane that was preparing to take off from New York to return to the gate and had the chief flight attendant kicked off. She didn't like that. She'd been served nuts in a bag, not on a plate. Cho, who apologized for her actions in previous public appearances, declined to talk to journalists today. If the court issues the arrest warrant, she will be taken into custody immediately. Cho faces charges including in-flight violence and changing a flight route. Greece's government has been forced to call early national elections after the Prime Minister failed to get enough support for his presidential nominee from lawmakers. Investors are worried the polls could help the left-wing opposition Syriza to come to power, a party which has promised to end austerity. Austerity was imposed on Greece in return for the country getting crucial bailout money, and investors fear Syriza could undermine the economic gains it has made. In a sign of lingering jitters over the looming elections, the Athens stock market closed 3.9% lower last night. All right, Tony, over to you for sports.
Yes, and the last round of Premiership matches for 2014 before we head into the new year. A strong finish to 2014 for Liverpool. The Reds routed Swansea 4-1 to move closer to the league's top four. James Wong has all the highlights.
Driving infield, Lallana.
Alberto Moreno made it 1-0 after the half hour at Anfield. Liverpool on their way to closing out 2014 with back-to-back wins. Luck was not on the side of the Swans. Lucas Fabianski's attempt